language is the language of the deaf community. We have a sign language interpreter today, so I hope it creates some awareness also of how sign language is used. So sign language is the language of the deaf community. Finding a way to share the gospel in their native language, that is sign language, is the best way for the church to reach this community. Sponsor some members in your congregation to train as sign language interpretation, in sign language interpretation, to become sign language interpreters. These are suggestions that I want to put out to the church today. Now, a study in the US, in the United States, found that 97% of deaf people there are unchurched. The scenario here in our state would be no different. We have not had any kind of study that is done. But if 90% of deaf people in a place like the United States, which is so advanced, their sign language is also one of the most advanced American Sign Language. Advanced American sign languages are there. You know, but even if in a place like America, 97% of deaf people are not even going to church because people are not communicating with them. Just think about our own society. Where are the deaf people in your church? How are you reaching out to the deaf community in your church? That is one thing that I think all churches need to think about. So this sign language is something that the churches need to promote, need to start using. And one thing I just want to stress is also that sign language is not only for the deaf community, it is for the hearing people also. You know, if we don't learn now, we send our deaf brothers and sisters to, learn sign language, and none of us, we don't even bother to learn, then how are we going to communicate with them again? So we also have to learn sign language, at least the basic sign language, so that communication with the deaf community becomes easy. Now, what problem we have in our state is because of all the neglect, a lot of professionals, we need so many professionals and so many institutions, rehabilitation services and disability services are lacking, in so many ways. We desperately need so many, but then we don't have it because it was neglected so much. So, earlier in the past, a lot of these things that should have been started were not started. So now we are working towards all that, but it's going to take time to come up with an institution that provides training for, these courses for sign language, for example. But there are some organizations and some of these inclusive schools who give, and some individuals, deaf individuals also, who give basic short course sign language classes also, so that hearing people also will be able to learn the basics of sign language and be able to communicate. So you can work with us, you can even get in touch with us. We can organize some of these training courses even for our young people in churches, and also that they gain some knowledge about sign language and be able to communicate with the deaf community. So this is something so important, I think, and about sponsoring, some young people or some people who are willing to, go for such kind of training, and then they come and work as sign language interpreters for the church. Then deaf people can just become an integral part of your church. So this is something that we really hope that the churches will take to heart. And
people with disabilities, a diverse and vibrant community that deserve to be heard, understood, and include in every aspect of society. Firstly, what is disability? Disability is a physical, cognitive, sensory, or mental condition that may limit a person's ability to perform certain tasks or participate fully in everyday activities. Disabilities can be visible or invisible, temporary or permanent. Disabilities are a natural part of the human experience, and they do not inherently define a person's worth or potential. Growing up as a hearing-impaired individual was a journey filled with both obstacles and moments of resilience. From an early age, we were confronted with the realization that we experience the world differently than our hearing peers. Simple tasks such as having conversation, participating in social activities, or enjoying social gathering have posed significant challenges for most days of our life. Yet, despite these obstacles, we learn to adapt, to persevere, and to find our own voice in a world that often seems designed for those who can hear and speak. Let us commit ourselves to building more inclusive communities where all are welcome, valued, and embraced regardless of their abilities. I want to conclude with a quote stated by Stephen Hawking. My advice to other disabled people would be, concentrate on things your disability does not prevent you from doing well, and don't regret the things it interferes with. Don't be disabled in spirit as well as physically. Last but not the least, I'm thankful to the Nagaland State Disability Forum and to the Office of the State Commissioner for Persons with Disability for giving me the time and platform to voice my concern. Thank you.
Nagaland TV, Sob Manulaga Awas. Watch us live on GeoTV and on your television sets as well. For Dimapur viewers, we are on channel number 994 in Global Chapter, and Kohima and Mokokchung viewers, switch to channel number 138 on Hornbill Digital. For all news and updates, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter.